Hey guys, Huz here bringing you another video. Now today's episode of Unranked to Diamond is an experimental episode. That's why there's no webcam in the top right today. Basically, this is a recording. I played this game earlier in the day and I'm going to commentate on top of the footage that I recorded. This is one of two experiment episodes I'm going to do. So let me know in the comments, like throughout, don't comment straight away and be like, I don't like this. Watch the episode first and let me know what you think. But there's also going to be another experimental episode of Unranked to Diamond, probably in about 3 or 4 episodes, that we're going to take the replay file and then do a replay episode. So don't worry, the live stuff isn't going anywhere. Basically, this is to keep the series fresh because it's over 100 episodes, that if occasionally, once a week, I throw out one of these versions or one of the replay versions, that's just something a little bit extra, something a bit more, and you'll probably get different types of lessons from each episode. You know, the live commentaries, they kind of focus on, your mindset, how to be instinctive, and how to play kind of just in the game. This one will be going probably over mechanics a bit more, again decision making because we'll have my point of view, and then eventually the replay version will be going over everything. So the analytic point, strategy, that's what will be then. That's the idea. Let me know what you think when you've watched the episode. But yeah, team comps are being locked in right now. I am playing Syndra in today's episode, as you probably would have seen by the title of the video. Bans is Hecarim, Aurelia, and Darius. Enemy bans Gangplank, Kassadin, and Rise. My team comp so far looks pretty good. So we have a Syndra mid as myself. We've got a Sejuani jungle. We've got a Ezreal and hovering a Bard bot lane with a Gnar top. And then in the enemy team, we've got a Tryndamere, a Shen, a Severe, a Fizz mid, and a Sona support. So in my own head, I'm kind of thinking, okay, it must be Tryndamere jungle. It's kind of rare to see, but that's what it's going to be. But yeah, team comps locked in. As for team comps, I think they're relatively even. It just depends how much pressure the Shen can have on the map, is my initial thought going into the game. But without much further ado, let's go into loading screen and break down today's game. Okay, welcome to the loading screen. This is where I use the website lolskill.net to break down today's game. And as you can see, the enemy team have a 15.9% chance to win. But let's go through it. They have a Shen that is Diamond 5, a Platinum 2 Severe, Platinum 1 Tryndamere, Platinum 1 Sona, and a Platinum 1 Fizz. On my team, we have a Platinum 2 Syndra, a Diamond 5 Ezreal, Platinum 1 Gnar, Platinum 1 Sejuani, and a Platinum 1 Bard. As for anybody that's got a lot of experience on those champions, that's pretty much just Tryndamere in this game. But some people on my team, like the Sejuani, have a pretty good win rate on their specific champion. Okay, welcome to today's game where I am playing Syndra, the powerful arcane mage. I think it's arcane mage herself. We're going for an invade. So again, just to remind you, this is not a live commentary. This is why you're not seeing the webcam in the bottom right in today's video. This is a game that I played earlier in the day, and I'm just recording over it to hopefully show you a couple of different things, a couple of different lessons here or there. Because, when I'm doing a live commentary, which is still going to be 99% of this series, they are not going away. But basically, when I'm doing live, I can do specific lessons. How to play, instinctively. You get my live emotions and all that. You get that stuff, which I think is good. But then this one will give you my point of view. So you'll see a kind of what I'm thinking. But here I can actually explain it a lot more because I'm not distracted by actually playing the game. And then finally, the replay version that I'm going to be doing in a few days will go over strategy and things like that I can't really cover easily in one of these episodes. Because in the replay version, I even can pause it, rewind, and all that good stuff. But Syndra, good champion all around, very strong mid laner, and I'd actually say she's probably in the top, 10 mid laners right now if I had to rank her somewhere. But she's got burst, she's got, CC. The one thing she is obviously lacking is mobility. We're against the Fizz, who's known as, the killer of anti-mobility champions, because he throws his ultimate down and then you're pretty much screwed. So hopefully, in today's game, me playing Syndra, I'll be able to survive. And obviously, one thing people say is like, obviously I know the outcome of this game already. Yes, I do. So hopefully my commentary won't spoil anything, before you guys find out the result. But yeah, we're trying to just be as objective and kind of pretend this isn't me, really. Occasionally I will go into decision making, but, that's the kind of idea. First blood comes down in the bot lane. Pretty nice kill by them. Obviously, Sona on the enemy team currently has a 59 or something % win rate in solo queue. Extremely strong champion right now, and a lot of people are asking, why is she so strong? Her damage for a support is decent, but she's a sustain support, so she has a heal that does damage, and now her cooldowns you can spam the longer the game goes on. Her lane phase, she can still get punished because she's squishy, but if you get out of lane phase, she's really good really strong. Anyway, mid lane, I'm just throwing some poke down on the Fizz, because you have to remember this is a melee versus ranged matchup, and if you want to try and win the lane at least, you have to abuse that before a Fizz can kill you. So try and damage them as much as you can, try to go for as many last hits, and when he's going for last hits, throw in an auto attack here or there, throw in a spell when you actually can hit them, and if he uses his E or something like that, yeah, just kind of run away. Try and make him waste mana is probably the best way to win this lane. Now, right now, I am pushing quite heavily. Now, the reason I'm pushing quite heavily is because they have a Tryndamere jungle. I'm not that scared of Tryndamere jungle. Should I be? Yes and no. There is a gank coming in mid lane as I speak. Push the Fizz away, and then the Tryndamere does do a decent amount of damage to me. Did I need to flash? Honestly, I probably said I probably didn't need to flash. I could have just tried to go for the Tryndamere kill, all in him with Ignite. Might have picked up that kill. So there's a potential little mistake by me. But again, sometimes it's better to play safe than sorry. Meanwhile, in bot lane, I don't think Ezreal backed. I didn't see if he backed when he got the kill, but Sona manages to get a solo kill on Ezreal. The enemy AD carry didn't even get an assist, so that kind of shows some strength from the Sona. And then mid lane returns to normal, so just continue farming, continue just trying to do our best to, maintain the farm. Again, Sona gets a solo kill. No assist for Severe here, just Sona killing everything. And meanwhile, if you look at the minimap in the bottom right, you see Sejuani, now I look at the camera now, is taking blue. Notice Fizz is leaving, ping it straight away, do a couple of warning pings, and then I think to myself, okay, time to push mid. As soon as your opponent leaves mid, push the wave into tower. It will make you go, there's the Huzzy cannon, like if you like me missing cannons. But yeah, as soon as they leave the lane, push it, because what you just see now is Fizz miss 2-3 CS just because he isn't there. Anyway, Pink Panther music could activate right now. Tryndamere's doing the blue. We have full vision of it. I'm just going to steal it and then give it to Sejuani. It would have been amazing if I got this blue buff, and that is what I was secretly hoping for, I won't lie. But she does take it. It's still an advantage for my team, but that's the good thing of Syndra. She can do that. A lot of Syndras, they don't really do it anymore. A lot of Syndras took W at level 1, ward the enemy camp, and then go over there just to screw them over. When junglers used to start the buff, obviously they don't start the buff anymore, but when junglers used to start blue buff or red buff, that happened all the time. Doesn't happen anymore. Anyway, Fizz is missing again. He goes over to the try where he actually catches the Sejuani, but she manages to get out there nice and safe, which is good. You didn't really want to give Fizz those double buffs because that would be a snowballing Fizz. But I will say just one little tangent is the ping system that they have introduced recently. Fizz goes for a bit of damage, returns out there really nicely. Good move by him. But the ping feature, so you can hold control, if you don't know, because a lot of people are getting confused. Hold control, the left control down, and then click on any of your spells, any of your summoner spells, or your health bar at the bottom, or your mana bar, and it will do a readout to the chat. It's been quite funny recently on Reddit. People are making posts going, hey, this guy's scripting or hacking or something. He's doing this ping stuff. It's like, that's where you should read patch notes. But yeah, really great feature. Season 6, let's be honest, has not been a great season for me in Riot's decision making with where the game's going. But this is one good thing that they've done that I'm really happy about. Anyway, going to go back. Not much point being in lane without any mana. So we managed to pick up the mana component of the Morellonomicon. We're going to rush the Morello because it's just a really strong item, especially for a burst mage like Syndra, who uses a lot of mana. So it sustains your mana, gives you cooldown reduction, which is brilliant for her, and just enables you to keep harassing your lane opponent, especially a Fizz who is a melee champion. Anyway, bot lane was looking to do a couple of duels there. Gnar versus a Shen in the top lane. You expect the Gnar to win that lane because, again, the ranged versus melee matchup. And Fizz is missing, so I managed just, I think I ping or something. Yeah, I did. And return to mid lane, just continue to farm. Because he's not in mid lane again, I like to know where my lane opponent is. Therefore, I will push it until he comes back to mid. Because if he's roaming, if the minions go to his tower, he may give up on the roam because he's like, oh, I don't want to give up on that farm. I'm going to go back to the tower. That's the idea. Sejuani in the river, looking to do a little bit of turtle clearing here. And unfortunately, it would have been great if Bard actually met us in the river. And this little boulder there that you can see on the middle of your screen, if he E'd us through there, there could be a potential kill. But unfortunately, he goes to kind of fight them instead, where he could have just waited. But as you can see, Soda in the old chat telling us that they had it warded again. Don't tell people this type of thing. Don't type in Lord Chat, more people please, because they are just basically telling us that they had vision. And if they have vision, there's a pattern there that they probably always ward the river, if that makes sense. Fizz is going to go and contest the turtle or the crab, but she does, Sejuani does smite it away. And unfortunately, Sona gets another solo kill. So let me just make the point. That is the 3rd solo kill that Sona has got this game. Severe has had no assists from this lane whatsoever as of yet. All 3 kills in bot lane have been solo kills for the Sona. Luckily, Sejuani is giving me the blue buff. Really nice of her, thank you very much. And if you just notice in the chat, Bard is one of those supports that as soon as he starts dying a bit, he's like, right, see you later, I'm going away now. Don't do that, please. If you are a support watching, I know dying is frustrating, but it's a lot easier just to play safe in bot lane rather than screw your AD over by you roaming a lot. Also, Na got a solo kill on the Shen. That's great. Meanwhile, Na was trying to be the moderator here, going, stop arguing. You know, it just doesn't help. Again, I don't want to touch on the point too much. It's a bit boring when I do. Just don't be that guy, and that's pretty much it. And then mid lane, right now. So I've got blue buff. I'm level 6 or level 7. Got Ignite up. Got my ultimate. What am I thinking? Okay, time maybe is soon to try and go for a kill. But Fizz is most likely thinking the same thing. He goes for his ultimate. I simply just push him away. Don't even go for the stun. Just go for the push. He goes for an all-in on me. I simply dies. I don't know what that was about. Meanwhile, Tryndamere is trying to go for the Bard like crazy. And this Tryndamere, as you can see, his summoner name is actually Tryndamere something. He is a Tryndamere main. Go for the kill on him. Boom. Nice double kill for me. Get double buffs too. Already had the blue buff. Now have the red buff. That's a nice situation for a Syndra. Again, I don't know what the Fizz was doing. He just went for an all-in. Maybe he expected more damage. Didn't pan out for him. Get a nice free kill there. Don't burn Ignite. And that's the thing to say. If you are a Syndra specifically, let's talk about this matchup or a similar matchup when you are playing Syndra. Don't stun people if you want them to go away. Because if you do the Q into your stun, they will stop as soon as the ball hits them from the E. They will just stop. Where the E actually pushes them further away. So in this situation where you're against a Fizz, if you want to, you know, his ult is hitting you no matter what. Just push him away, and by the time you've been knocked up by his ultimate, boom, you're ready to go again. He's been pushed away further enough. He might even use E to try and get back to you, and then you can ult him. That's the cool thing about Syndra versus Fizz. Bot lane, however, are, you know, going a little bit crazy. I do just type in chat, play passive bot, please. Rest of the map is winning, which is a true statement, and the Bard reacts in a negative way. This guy probably is a little bit tilted, you know, by just dying a few times, and unfortunately, it's letting him affect him. And I was like, just trying to help, you know, just play passive. You know, Na's doing quite well. He's getting ganked here and not dying as of yet. Unfortunately, if Sejuani was literally in the area, I'd say 1 or 2 seconds before, they probably would have got a kill there. But it was not to be. But yeah, I'm winning in mid lane, obviously. Got a double kill ahead in farm. And also Na got a solo kill on Shen. So top and mid are winning. As soon as the point is happening, as a bot lane, you should be thinking, let's go into passive mode. There is no point trying to go crazy. Again, my old saying that I don't think I've said in a while, you can be Robin, you don't always need to be Batman. You know, the hero of this particular story doesn't always have to be you. Anyway, the tower goes down in bot lane, which I'm actually thinking in my head, that's actually not a bad thing. They can freeze in the bot lane. I can deal with mid lane. I've got wave clear. They can't really dive me that easily. They can dive me, but I'm okay. I think I can deal with it. So I'm thinking, okay, they can freeze for a while, right? You know, that won't be a bad thing. So that's my thought process. But anyway, returning the mid, Fizz gets his blue buff. He's probably going to look to play kind of aggressive, I would say. You know, as you can see, boom, he's looking to go aggressive. I miss the E. I flash away. That was just overall a bad play by me. His ult comes down, he flashes away himself. So just a messy situation. If I knew the Bard ult was coming down, I wouldn't have flashed. But yeah, I shouldn't have flashed there. Like, that was just silly. He's still at ultimate, so I was a little bit like, he's done this damage to me without ulting me yet. So that is why I flashed. But again, did I need to do it? Who knows? It's hard to say. Anyway, Sona comes into the mid lane. Just ping that she's here. Bard gets a nice double stun, actually. And we're looking to try and go for the kill. Fizz goes all in on me. Unfortunately, I do go down. Throw my ultimate on top of him, which would have killed him. But as Sejuani got her ultimate on him as the last damage, she actually picked up the kill. Sona goes crazy all in for the Bard. Picks herself up another solo kill. And uses both summoners. So I just type in chat, Sona sums. You know, is that worth? Probably, if you can take advantage of Sona having no summoners now. So what Sejuani should be doing is going to bot lane when everybody's back alive because they know Sona doesn't have flash or ignite. That's a free kill. Meanwhile, in top lane, Gnar is still doing quite well. As you can see, he's 20 farm above the Shen. So that's great. You do expect him to win, not going to lie, but that's good having a strong Gnar. But yeah, dying there was a bit unfortunate, but it happens. You know, I don't mind dying again for the greater good, as always. And, you know, in that, well, it was a 2 for 2, really. You know, I died, Fizz died, and so did Bard and Sona. So, anyway, Severe's in the mid lane because, obviously, bot lane, it's a bit of a weird lane now, bot lane. If she goes down to bot lane, she can get ganked, but my AD carry and support aren't always down there together. If they're down there together, they have some strength. If they're not down there together, they're vulnerable to get killed. Blue buff is spawning, so I'm just hovering around, just making it very known that, hey, I want this blue buff. And Sejuani's like, yeah, no problem, basically. She gives it up. Really nice by her. You know, it is always nice, and I have spoke about it a few times before, is buffs and junglers. Junglers are entitled to your buffs. That's one thing to say, that you are entitled. But you just have to think smart about it. You're like, if your mid laner is a mana-reliant champion that has the potential to snowball, give them it. Now, unfortunately here, I do the E, try to knock him away, Shen ult comes down, boom, I'm just dead. Like, there was no possible counterplay I could have done other than just not be there, basically. That is literally the only counterplay that I could have done, is just run away or, like, just not be there in the first place. Fight's coming down in the bot lane, unfortunately. Fizz obviously doesn't have ultimate, but Squishy Sejuani so far in the game does go down. Ezreal, I think, is about, yeah, triple ultimate. Doesn't do any damage as of yet. Shen is still bot lane, so there are 4 people bot lane. So we need to get this tower. That's why the camera pans at the top tower, because I'm like, right, how low is the top tower? That's the only good thing we could get. As you can see, Tryndamere is even bot lane, so there is technically 5 odd people in the bot lane right now. I come back alive, I'm thinking, right, let's go down there and see if we can salvage anything. They're going to get the tier 2 in 14 minutes in the game. That's not great, but again, bot lane was the kind of weak link in today's episode so far. Fizz makes the mistake of using his E, and a very interesting thing to know, I was expecting him to live there because Sona's right next to him. She must have had a heal up, but just doesn't use it. Like, just, or it literally wasn't up, I don't know. I tried to go for the stun, but it was not to be. But we're going to continue chasing down for these kills because I'm thinking, hey, these are free kills here. They're out of mana, they're low health, let's go for it. Bard returns. And then, you know, we're just going to go for it. Tryndamere, I think, is about to use ultimate. There he is. And he just goes for the auto attack. And that is actually a pattern that this Tryndamere had, I'd say, for the most of the game. I mistimed the kill, so Bard picks it up. But this Tryndamere, for a Tryndamere, I think, one trick, and he has it in his name. He was very weird when he was nearly dead. You know, Tryndameres usually will use their ultimate and try to get away, or they'll know how much damage they can do if they can get away. This Tryndamere, pretty much, I'd say 75% of the time, when he used ultimate, he just stood still and auto attack things. Bit of a weird response, I'd say, but alas, he is the Tryndamere main, I suppose. While this is all going on, and we can pick up a few kind of revenge kills, I suppose, Gnar is still in the top lane, and he is poking down the tier 2. He is backing off, and I think he's about to start basing. As you can direct your attention to the bottom right mini-map, he is basing there, looking to go back and buy. And any second, you can see Fizz's face pops up, but Gnar just gets away in time, so he doesn't get interrupted by the Fizz there. So we get the mid lane tower, and we're about to get the bot lane tower, and we're going to try and go for Dragon after. That's actually a pretty good haul, but I'm thinking, hang on a second, let's not go for Dragon yet. There's 2 people in bot lane we can try and kill. Let's go in. So like a lot of spam ping-ins, I'm pinging, let's go, let's go. As you can see, Sejuani in the bottom right has ultimate, really nice ultimate. Bald ultimate wasn't really needed, but, you know, it happens. Severe does a really nice flash and actually picks up the Ezreal, so that's not great for us. And that's, again, another thing that you have to be careful on. If, like, a kill is 100% a kill, that Severe was dead, Ezreal should have just backed right on out of there. Like, I know you're a little bit greedy as an AD carry or a mid laner, you want to pick up that kill, but sometimes it's just not worth staying around. Anyway, Fizz goes for an ult with the Shen. We keep forgetting about the Shen in this game, I'll be honest, but he makes a great impact from top lane. Like, yes, he's losing his lane 1v1 versus the Gnar, that's to be expected, but the global pressure already in this game that the Shen has had is significant. You know, he got a kill in mid lane because he ulted the Fizz. He just ulted the Fizz again when he went in, picked up another kill. They're going to try and go for the Dragon here. Unfortunately, they do pick it up. He misses the taunt, but Bard will go down to the Fizz. But yeah, just a little bit interesting. Like, you know, we need more pressure. We even need more pressure from top lane, that he goes for a tower and literally gets the tower, or we need him to start roaming. Fizz is going to try and go for the kill on me. He does realize it's a little bit more than he can kind of bite off, so he does flash away. But yeah, just play passive. You know, we don't have much support going on here, so I'm thinking, all right, let's just go back Ezreal decides to go all in. Again, I don't really know why. You know, he's very weak at the moment. That's one thing to say. They lost bot lane quite heavily. And it's an Ezreal. So Ezreal takes a long time to ramp up. And, yeah, I don't know if this guy plays a lot of Ezreal. But, you know, he just doesn't know his own damage right now. He doesn't know his own limits. And that's where I say is if you do want to play a champion in ranked that's not known as a crazy popular champion, that's fine. But make sure you have played it a lot in normal so you know the champion's limits. So you know how much damage they do with certain items. You know, if you are an AD carry and you buy a BF sword, you should know how much damage roughly you should be doing when you have that BF sword. You should be able to feel how much damage you should be doing. And I don't know if this Ezreal has that instinct right now. Anyway, returning to mid lane, going to just keep farming. You know, the game has been a bit crazy right now, so the farm in the game in general isn't very high. But that happens, you know, a lot of low-rating people give, you know, high-rating people a hard time when, oh, the farm is so low in this game, you know, how is this diamond, how is this platinum, whatever it may be, challenger. Games are situational. Certain games, everybody will be at 200 CS in 15 minutes because nothing's happening in terms of fighting. But then there's these games like this, that fighting is happening quite a lot, or roaming is happening, and you're moving around, and the farm is just lower. That's just League. That's just what happens. Pick up the blue buff once again. Gnar is pretty low, so the enemy team, I think, are looking for a dive or at least the tower pressure. Returning to the mid lane, and there is a 3. He goes for a kill, potentially on the Bard. He makes the mistake again by going all in. Does go down by me, uses the ultimate there. I think Bard used his ignite, but that's a nice kill to pick up. Bard ult comes down. Again, going to try and go for the Sona. One banger, throw the ignite on her, do get the kill. Unfortunately, Shen ult comes down once again, but I do manage to pick her up with the final tick of ignite. But this Shen is being, again, amazing in terms of global pressure. Sona didn't survive then, obviously, but I'd say he was the reason that I didn't get the kill. You know, I probably would have been able to get the kill and a lot more confident. I'm not sure if I got taunted. I wasn't really fully paying attention. And again, this is a weird play. Gnar teleports down to the tier 2 in bot lane for what purpose? Like, there's no minions there anymore. He gets taunted under tower. He's looking to go pretty low on health, honestly. He manages to get out, but again, you see his top left, the item build he's currently gone for is a rather squishy build. That's fine. Sejuani picks up a nice solo, or nice kill on the Severe. And maybe they'll try go for the Shen. So there's a nice combo by Sejuani, and one more auto attack picks it up nearly, and boom, and then a Fizz comes in. So this game's just a bit crazy. You go anywhere, and then suddenly more people appear. They happen. Tryndamere, as a Tryndamere does, is probably going to split push. And again, I don't really rate Tryndamere jungle. In the jungle phase of this game, or the early phase, he didn't really do anything. I throw my blue ward out just to distract him. He did by one auto attack, so that's not a bad idea. Throw my Q out so I have an extra Q. Manage to throw it on top of him any second. Bam! Try to go for the stun, but he actually does E out. That was the worst try and stun I think I've ever done. But for some reason, he tries to continue auto-attacking. Gnar is in the area. Gonna go for the ultimate. Thought it would burst him without him using ultimate, but he does manage to survive. Gnar flash, Tryndamere flash. Gonna go for the kill and manage to pick it up. Gnar, unfortunately, did not get an assist, even though he burnt flash. But Tryndamere did, so it's not that bad. But yeah, again, I don't rate Tryndamere jungle that much. The reason I don't rate it, and it's the same reason I don't rate Jack's jungle, is because these champions, they do jungling for the lane phase. They don't have the greatest impact. And meanwhile, I do a dirt moment, don't pay attention, and simply just get one shot by the Fizz. That sucked for me. But yeah, make sure you pay attention, especially when you're running back in River. That was a massive mistake. But yeah, Jack's jungle, Tryndamere jungle, they don't have a lot of impact in the early game. And they just go to what they would do if they were a top laner later. They just farm and split push. Fizz is one auto attack from death, and Ezreal doesn't have the confidence to go on him, unfortunately. So there's a kill that he could have got, but doesn't pick it up. And then Bard randomly gets that. I'm like, wait, how much damage? I looked at his build. He has a Sheen. I was like, does that do that much? So I was a bit surprised there. I'll be honest. I think they do manage to get away. Gonna just take a drink because my throat is getting a bit dry. But yeah, this game is all over the place. So we have a pretty strong Syndra as myself. I do have one-shot potential on several of the characters on the enemy team. We have a decently strong Gnar. He did go a little bit crazy in the last fight, overextended a bit for a kill and actually did go down, but he's still pretty strong. Ezreal is currently, well, our bot lane is currently the weak point in the game, and as you can see here, the Shen ult comes down again, managed to pick up the kill, or Bard does at least. I flash away just and get away. Shen also flashes for me. He types in all chat, sure, spelt wrong. But I managed to survive. That's nice. Finally, I survive a Shen ultimate. He's used that a lot for the mid lane. Rightfully so. Like, again, I'm a champion that has very little mobility. so it's fine him using that on me all the time. Anyway, this fight, they should back off. What you'll notice on the minimap, Ezreal is bot lane. We're outnumbered, outgunned, back off, shouldn't be fighting. They do go for it. You know, I'm very low myself. That was just a fight that shouldn't have happened. You know, the Bard is typing in chat right now. Was it Ezreal's fault? Not really, not at this stage of the game. We should have known he was bot lane. It wasn't bad for him to be bot lane because we could have just held the mid tower. He was gaining, he was catching back up because he's behind in the game. So that was just a mistake by my team, honestly, going for that engage. Sona was looking to try and get a power chord on me, probably to try and kill me with how much damage she does nowadays. But yeah, now that Ezreal did get a little bit of farmer stuff, we should be looking to group. You know, again, I will say split pushing loses more games than it wins. And our team comp, let's look at the team comp. We've got a pretty decent team fight. We've got AoE damage with a Sejuani. We've got Gnar that has AoE stuns. We've got Syndra with an AoE stun as well, if I manage to scatter my balls with E. We've got a Bard that has double stun with his Q. He's got his ultimate. And then finally, Ezreal, who has kiting potential with his Frozen Fist. He's got a bit of range damage with a poke. So our team comp, make no mistake, is a great team fighting team. The enemy team, however, is also a good team-fighting team. We can't hide that fact either. They've got a Sona who is brilliant for team-fighting. They've got a Shen with an AoE taunt. But this game really should be settled down into team-fighting. Skirmishes should not win or lose this game. It should be team-fighting. So keep that in your head for the rest of the game. Both teams basically want to win by team fighting. Return to mid lane. Severe does actually walk up into the mid lane a little bit too much. My Luden's Echo manages to proc her spell shield. Gonna go for the kill. Shen ult comes down once again, but I manages to burst her before Shen ult comes down. And that's basically what I have to do. As Shen is chasing me, I'm like, right, let's just slow you down a little bit, buddy. Above me, I'm like, wait, where did they come from? Shen, I think, flashes or taunts over the thingy, and then Bard ease straight into me. Sometimes it's better if you just accept your death and don't make someone else die, because I think Bard is about to go down anyway. Maybe he'll survive, but sometimes, you know, I'm a mid laner, he's a support. It would have been, yeah, he goes down anyway, so he shouldn't have E'd in my direction. That was a little bit of a mistake by him, but he probably wasn't paying attention and wasn't looking where everybody else is. Again, it's not terrible because there was a fight going on. Sometimes you're a little bit panicked in your thought. And then I say in chat, you know, it's a rightful point. Always two people are split pushing. You know, Gnar's always top lane, Ezreal's always bot lane. We can't win this game with two people split pushing. We probably can't win this game with one person split pushing. Bard wants to FF, and again, I always mute people that go just FF because it's annoying. It's like, right, just concentrate on winning rather than losing. The moment you start thinking about surrendering or giving up is the moment you're just going to lose the game. Like, flat out, that's just what happens. So be always optimistic. I try to drive that point home in most commentaries that I do. Optimism is very good, not just in League, but in life in general. But we're going to go over and see if the blue buff's up. Unfortunately, it's not. So that got stolen away, but then we're going to resume or try and group like we've been trying to do for quite some time. The red buff is up. They get ulted, or at least the Sejuani does. So another skirmish is happening here when we're not fully grouped. Sona is all alone. I'm taking a lot of damage by the Severe in the backline here. But yeah, again, another team fight that we're not all grouped. You can see on the left, there are two people fighting over there. We've been split by a team, completely split from the rest. Just not a good team fight. Gnar jumps over the Dragon Pit. I think he may try and get out. Enemy team is following us. This is where it would have been great if I actually had a Riley at this point of the game, but obviously I haven't built it as yet. I do go down with a Tryndamere Flash on top of me, and hopefully the rest of the team will try and survive as well as they can. Gnar does go ultimate, tries to get a kill for himself, and I think he does eventually go down to the Fizz. He does, and as again, I'm just typing in chat. Just need a group as 5. It's that simple. You know, we were grouping there, and then the team fight, we got completely split. So what you can take of today's lesson, and, you know, hopefully this type of commentary, you know, in a point of view commentary, I'll be like, why are we grouping? I can give you the reason why we're not grouping here. You know, our team comp, I broke it down earlier. We're all a team fighting, you know, team. We have Bard with the immune that can counter the Tryndamere and the Fizz. We have stuns for the Tryndamere ultimate, and we can't take full advantage of that if we're not 5 people. That's basically it. As for my item build right now, so I went the Morellonomicon, then the Ludens. We're now going to go to the Death Cap, I believe, because I just want damage. I want to do as much damage as possible. I believe that's how we can potentially win the game. Bard ult comes down, and then, again, this is a great opportunity for us. Ezreal, unfortunately, gets hit by the Fizz ultimate, which kind of delays his engage. And remember, he has a slow with the Frozen Fist. Continue trying to go for something. Gnar does use teleport to try and get a slow himself. I'm going to flash E straight on top of people, try to go for something. Severe, I know, doesn't have spell shield, so I just go for an ultimate on here, pick up one thing. And what we should have done here is probably Baron. We should have tried to do it. This game is extremely close right now. Team fights and skirmishes are making the difference in the game. I believe Baron would have been a good call, but we do decide to go for the tier 2. A dive is coming out, and as you can see, it's a bit messy. Sonar ult once again. Fizz is going to jump straight in. I get killed by the Sonar. Tryndamere is flanking. So just a bit messy. So again, I think we should have gone for the Baron. I think that would have been a smarter play. It's a little bit more open. Again, Sonar is a choke point champion, so is Fizz. If you give them a choke like next to that tower that they can AoE stun you, or Fizz can AoE drop on you with E, they're probably going to kill you. So I think that was a mistake in decision making there. Continuing to buy the death cap. Bard is looking to try and get away. He does use flash. Tryndamere is really low health, but doesn't go down. Bard's looking to try and get him just as a cheeky kill. I ping because Sonar definitely is flanking around, and Bard's just going to mosey his way on closer to the base. A stun's coming down from Bard himself, and meanwhile Gnar is coming to try and pick up the kill. Unfortunately, he misses his Q. Bard ult comes down. That probably just saved the kill, because if the Bard ult didn't, then Sonar would have probably just sped away, and Gnar picks that up. So that's a nice free kill. It's a bit of greedy play by Sonar, but again, that whole situation probably didn't need to happen. Baron, it's weird. Baron, I'd say, is an easier thing to do now than it ever has been, weirdly. That's the way it feels. I think you can kill it quicker than you ever have been. As for our team comp, I think we'll do it, respectively quick. Gnar does it pretty quick. I can do spells on it, and Ezreal has decent damage on it. Not the best, but decent damage. So I think we could have done it instead. Blue buff just spawned, so I'm going to go for that. And obviously at this point of the game, with the levels, etc., with the W, I can now pick up multiple balls. As you can see, I just pick up 3, and that's a lot of damage. So I'm going to wait around. Do you know why? I want to save these 3 balls. It's going to be weird saying that. Going to pick them up and mosey my way onto the dragon, because I know Tryndamere was doing it. Going to try and go for this steal. Sejuani manages to get the dragon. I managed to get the Tryndamere, so that's a really good situation. She manages to get in, boom, get that dragon. Again, Ezreal by himself goes down to the Fizz Shen. I believe that was the combo. No, there's the combo. There's the Shen ult. So Shen just randomly was around. Bard uses the ult weirdly on the Shen. I don't think it was worth it at that point, because I think he was already coming in, or he's already around the area. I go down to the Soda. She's playing pretty damn good, but you can see the strength of the Soda. She's got so many kills this game just by being that champion. Fight's continuing. Gnar goes for the ultimate. He swaps his attention weirdly to the high health Severe. He should have continued on the Soda. That was probably his only potential kill. Again, like I mentioned in the chat, we never have 5 people. And that's the only thing. Earlier, I said, earlier in the game, I think I typed in chat, Ezreal's always bot lane, Gnar's always top lane. This situation is happening still. Gnar wasn't with us at the beginning of the fight. Ezreal got caught out before the fight happened near Dragon. He was in bot lane all by himself. So this game is very frustrating. We have the chance to win. And again, if you can take anything from this game, is if you guys right now like to split push. You're watching this video and you're like, yeah, I like to split push. I play Tryndamere. I play a split pushing champion. Don't be the guy that just doesn't split push outright. Like, split pushing, it loses, as I said, it's not just a random statement. I honestly and probably can say split pushing loses more games than it wins. Yes, it looks really cool when you backdoor the enemy nexus, like, haha, I got it. Doesn't happen often. You need to be a unit. And one thing to say in this game specifically, the Gnar is not a split push champion, neither is Ezreal. These 2 champions are not split push champions. Gnar is an AoE team fighting champion, especially with Mega Gnar, has that AoE stun. Ezreal is not a split pushing champion. He's not very good at 1v1s. Like, he doesn't do that much damage. He's more of a utility AD carry if he's behind. And yeah, if he's ahead, he'll do a lot of damage, but this Ezreal is not ahead. So that's one thing to say. Sona's currently got 9 kills. Her KD is absolutely insane right now. She is probably the strongest champion on the enemy team right now, surprisingly. She'd probably be able to 1v1 me. But anyway, they might be looking to do Baron soon, so we're getting some vision. Me and Bard are over at this bush. They are looking to come in, so we're going to just do double some burst. Unfortunately, I'm 10 seconds away from ultimate, because that probably would have been a kill. So we do decent damage. Fizz is nearly dead. Sona goes over to the right side for some reason. So maybe we could try and pick that up. I think Bard is going to go for an E to try and catch her up, but I don't think he's going to get to her. Severe goes again. She flies a little bit close to the sun. Not sure if I'll pick her up, but there does Shen ult come down. Again, this guy is... I'm not going to say he's trigger happy with his Shen ult, but he's just not afraid to use it, which is good. A lot of Shens just don't pull the trigger on the ultimate, and it's like, why didn't you ult? This Shen does definitely not have that problem. Anyway, we're all a little bit low health. I'm low definitely myself. Fizz is looking to E over and probably try and execute me. And again, Gnar is nowhere near. Look on the minimap. Where is he? Nowhere near. I don't know. I just don't get the thought process of people again. Again, you can see I'm typing more than I normally do. I'm frustrated at this point. You know, we are losing this game due to people not grouping. Now, fortunately, Gnar is still full health. He also has Mega Gnar Ultimate available to him. He's probably trying to charge it as we speak. But we're all pretty low health. Fizz ult comes down. He manages to miss it. I flash away because I don't want to die. And as you can see, Gnar is going to start racking up some kills over on the feed to the right. Gnar gets 2 kills already. There's 2. He gets a shutdown. And he's still around. He's pretty low. Picks up a triple. I'm like, okay, Gnar finally did something. But again, people say, oh, Gnar did a good thing. Yes, he did. But why isn't the air there at the start of the fight? If he's there at the start of the fight, then we have a lot stronger chance of winning it from the beginning. Gonna finally pick up the Shen though. So there we go. Just ace them. Ace them completely. Great. At this point, I'm thinking, oh, thank God. Maybe people in my team realize grouping's a good thing. You know, we just aced them when we weren't grouped. If we grouped, we should ace them. So again, I type in chat, please just stay grouped. You know, I'm trying to be polite. I'm trying to be like, we can win this game. Come on, we can do this. And then now saying, I have to push the lanes. Like, yeah, pushing's fine. And he's like, don't fight. Again, it's not a lot of our choice. They have a very engagey comp. They have a Sona that speeds up, that has Shenel on top of her, or they have a Fizz that's very quick and throws his ultimate on top of people. The fights most of the time are not to our decision. It's not up to us if we fight. It's up to the enemy whether they're engaging on us. That's why Gnar should always be mid, or with us. I make the suggestion to him basically going, he's like, I always have to push lanes. I'm like, get us a rock portal. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Sona is definitely the strongest champion on the enemy team. As you can see, her damage is insane. She just basically killed me in a 1v1. She did kill me in a 1v1 as a support. Is that too strong? I'm not really. Like, yeah, she's too strong in herself, but the damage isn't a problem. The reason that she's doing so much is because she's so fed. It's nothing really to do with Sona. If that was a Zyra, if that was a Brand, if that was a Vel'Koz support, I'd be dead anyway. Like, that's the point. It's nothing to do with Sona. It's just how far ahead she is. It's like, okay, well, I just got killed by a support. Anyway, fight is coming down once again. Gnar, again, is not with us. But this fight is most likely a mistake by the Sejuani, not the Gnar completely. Because I died already, was probably just not a good fight to take in the first place. Like, I died, back off, go to the tower, try to protect. Don't take bad fights. Anyway, Gnar is doing actually a kind of clever thing if he maintains it. He's killing the minions before they can get to our base. So they don't have anything to kill the tower, but unfortunately they just kill it anyway. But that's unfortunately gonna be the game. So, is it Gnar's fault, a lot of this? I'm going to say, yeah, a lot of it is his fault. Like, he played well, and I think he's a good player. He just needed to commit to grouping more. And that's the only thing he needed to do. Commit to grouping more, and I think we would have had a lot bigger chance to winning the game. Anyway, let's go into the outro and see how he did. So a few mistakes by me here or there, mainly just mispositioning. I actually pick up an S- for myself, which I was a bit surprised with. I do the most damage in the game, which is pretty good. But yeah, not a terrible game. We gain, you know, we lose a little bit of LP there. We went 11-9-7, but hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.